Guys, Herb here from OneGlanceTrader.com and welcome to episode 7 of my trading journal, The Drawdown Manager. And as always, if you want to go back and look at the previous episodes, please click the link in the description of this video or head over to OneGlanceTrader.com/journal. Now, what I'd love to do in today's video is give you guys a quick overview of the status of the account. And then what I wanted to do is kind of go over my drawdown in terms of my biggest open trades. So I will just want to give a quick view of the market on the pairs that are causing me the most trouble at the moment, and whether or not I should be using the profit that I've been accumulating to kind of close down these trades. Because again, I appreciate I could just let these trades run and eventually they may or may not even come back. So I want to start getting some discretion into this system and understand what is going to probably happen with price within the next week or two, and then I can decide on if I want to keep that trade open, if I think it's going to go back in my favor a little bit, or to really close it down if I feel that it's just going to keep going against me. So I'll be looking into that. So to give you guys a view on where we are, so today's date 19th of December. So if we look down firstly at the trade info, so from a profit perspective, let's get that a bit bigger for you there. Perfect. So it's done pretty well in the last few days, averaging around 70 to 80 pips a day overall since the 4th of December. So around the 2 week mark since we've done this, has accumulated 650 odd pips, which is around £50 profit or £50 worth of increase of balance onto my account as opposed to profit, so to speak. So again, as always, this system has no issue making money. I'm quite comfortable with what it is at the moment. I would love to increase the lot size and put more money into this so I can accumulate bigger profits, but for now I think I'm happy with what it's doing. So then going on to the balance and equity, so the balance again reflected inside the trade info section, nicely going up there, and equity, yeah, it's taken a little bit of a dip in the last few days. However, from when I started, it is still going inside the right direction, so not too concerned at the moment. In terms of drawdown, got quite a few open trades on it at the moment. It's sitting at the minus 300 mark. Which is all right, Again, I think I started recording at minus 310, 320, or maybe even minus 280. So even though drawdown has gone up slightly, again, it's still early in the day. You would expect half of this stuff to all close out at some point. Balance again, increasing nicely in equity, is hovering around the 620 level. So I think it got to as high as 630, 635 around this area over here. So that's kind of the status of the account, and again, I'm conscious that I want to start closing out some of this stuff. So I've now, if I can put this properly, lift a little bit more. Perfect. So what I really want to do now is go through my biggest drawdown trades at the moment. So I'm only really interested in anything above £10. So i.e. over 1,000 pips essentially. So this is the situation where we are. So we've got these 4 open trades. I've done it largest to smallest, and we'll go through them one by one. So the first one is the GBP New Zealand dollar. So I'm on the daily chart at the moment, and just to give you in terms of what indicators I've got up here, I've got the monthly pivot, I've got Rob Booker's Knoxville divergence indicator here that distinguishes whether or not an early warning system or whether or not that price is disagreeing with an oscillator, so in this case the momentum, and therefore a potential chance of a reversal. It's not guaranteed as always, but I just like to have it as a visually there as a potential. And then I've got the MACD and I've got the multi RSI to kind of give me a view on whether or not this instrument is overbought, oversold at an extreme of multiple multiple time frames. So I've already got it from the 15 all the way to the 4 hour. So where you see these green dots over here, okay, it doesn't really record it because this indicator doesn't go that far back. But what it's saying is that all the time frames were at some point oversold inside the situation here, and boom, there's a nice thing there. I think I bought around this level as well, which is quite annoying. But so yeah, so you can see where I am here. So um, this is my entry, and this is my take profit level. So as you can see, when it opened, I can't remember what it was. When was it? July time, 24th. So around, where are we here? 24th. Oh, too far there. 24th. It's about here. So yes, really inside this congestion area. Literally, price has gone completely against me there. However, in saying that, looking at this particular pair, I'm kind of encouraged on where this pair is going, and I think it's starting to come now into my favor. So for this, firstly, we've obviously got bearish divergence over here, so price making higher highs, and the oscillator, the momentum, which I don't have on this chart, is making lower lows. So again, it is giving us an early warning system that price may be exhausted at an extreme and looking to reverse. So we can see here the price has started to sell off here, so which is a good positive sign. Again, it's broken the trend line of this. So if I draw a trend line, so there's many ways you can draw a trend line, quite subjective. So that's one element of a trend line. Another trend line could be around here. In either scenario, price has broken through that bullish trend line, and again, another signal or indication that price is looking to reverse. It is smashed through its monthly pivot. I really do like monthly pivots and see how price reacts to that level. And you'll see in the other currency pairs actually about what's happening with price at the monthly pivot. So it's smashed through the monthly pivot, which is good to see from my perspective, considering I need price to get down here somehow. And lastly, its price has touched the lower Bollinger Band, which it hadn't done back all the way until July. So with all of that taken into account, I feel that I'm still comfortable with holding this pair. That's not to say that I'm gonna hold it until it gets down here. I'm gonna monitor it now on a week by week basis, and if I feel that any of these conditions changes, then I will probably look to get out, considering it's done a massive drop. So I love it to get it down to the S2 level if possible. Now prices are hovering around the S3 range, and it's doing some consolidation there, and the next key level probably going to be around this area here where price has used as resistance and also as support. So when it gets to around this level, I'll keep this on my chart, and that's probably the next area to see what happens with price, and if it does strongly break through, I'll keep that. But if it starts filtering back up to the upside maybe, then I may look to get out. So how many pips is price away from that level? It's still 300 pips away, so that is £30. So if I can knock off £30 of minus 80 odd, 70 60 40, 70 60 50, sorry, so minus 50, if I can generate another £30 worth of equity back into my account before closing this down, that would be great. So for that analysis, I'm quite comfortable with holding it. Next, we're going to go on to the Euro CAD. Now this is an interesting one, I think. Price is in a kind of I don't know what to do phase at the moment, and therefore I don't know really what to do. So from a positive perspective, from my perspective, so again, my sell order was down here, down at this area. We've got a strong resistance area here. Okay, kind of broke through it, then came back in, and as you can see with all these kind of high wicks, or long wicks rather, we can see that price is hovering there, and it's exactly on the monthly pivot. So price can either really do two things inside my view. Well, it can only really do two things. Is either reject this level and start going back down to where S3 is, and maybe this is the area where I'll probably look to kind of get out of this trade, or it could continue going up. So the other thing probably not going well against me is this formation over here. So it's potentially you do have an ascending triangle forming, which is a bullish upward move, which is a bullish move in a continuation of a trend, which is what this is. Trend line is not broken, so this element here kind of worries me. So I'm really looking to see what happens at this monthly pivot. If we get a massive push up to the upside, my strong view would be is that if it gets to this level again, and if it gets to this level again, I'll probably look to get out of this trade, really, to be honest. So I'll let it go a little bit more against me, and then I'll look to exit out, because sort of holding this trade to get back down to here is going to be a long time. So bit hesitant on this one, but again, I wanted to see how price reacts to this level, and now that I've drawn this trend line in, which I'll keep here, if price gets to around this level, around this 3, and see what it does, then yeah, it's going to push out one way or the other. It's just which way is it going to go. So that's my concern with the Euro CAD. Then we've got the GBP JPY. Again, kind of a similar story, really. We've got some bearish divergence, as you can see here, and potentially price could start reversing out. It's right on that monthly pivot again, which again, does worry me. We've had a massive sell-off here for a few days, and now with the doji coming in here, a lot of stuff could potentially happen here at this pivot. Again, you could argue that you have a double top, but you could also argue again that you've got another ascending triangle forming here, which is right there again. The momentum is up on the daily, and therefore we could see another breakout to the upside. Again, this is monthly pivot here, which is causing me issue depending on what price going to do at this level. So again, I'm a bit hesitant on this one as well, but again, I'll be watching it over the next couple of days, see what happens to price, and then looking to probably get out if it goes against me within the next week, or just after Christmas. Then we've got lastly the New Zealand dollar, US dollar. So this is my situation for my buy signal that I have here, and this is kind of where my issue is at the moment. This one is looking a bit more positive, really, I think. So a few things on this one is that we've now got bullish divergence. So price is making lower lows, oscillator, can't really see it, and it's not on the chart, it's making higher lows, and therefore we've now just had a crossover of the MACD onto the bullish side, which you can see over here. So expecting price to really go in the upward divergence over there. Like I say, it smashed through its pivot, similar to the GBP New Zealand dollar. It has also again smashed through its pivot, which is encouraging to see. And lastly, what I do like here is it's really hit an area of support around this area back in April, this area, and so November, and also November there. So I think that this level here is quite a strong support level, which you can see it's now bounced off. And lastly, it also has hit the top Bollinger Band recently, which it hadn't done all the way back in September, and the downward trend is now broken. So if we take, well, you can take many things as the high there. This is probably the best one to be looking at. This thereabouts. We've now had a breakout of the trend, so I'm quite encouraged about this one. Bit disappointing, we've got two sell signals over here. So one thing about this system, if you are triggered, is you could be hitting a top, which is pretty much where it gets you in trouble. When unfortunately EAs don't understand market structure, so that's where it could get us into trouble. So overall, my biggest drawdown pair and my lowest drawdown pair are the ones I'm quite happy with. It's the two in the middle that are both at their monthly pivots, and both have forming ascending triangles coming in. So those are the two that I'm worried about the most. Um, and and yeah, let's see what happens. So there's nothing rash I want to do at the moment. Just wanted to give you guys an overview of what I think is going to happen. Again, it's no guarantees. I could be completely wrong here, but I'm quietly confident that at least the GBP NSD will hopefully get to around this support area over here, and the New Zealand dollar again looking to get to around the R2, which is probably the next resistance level from that perspective, which could cause a little bit of a stall. And these two, I think these two will continue to go up, and yeah, it's just about trying to find the right time to know if I am right and they are going to go up, is when do I get out. So that's the bit I'm still learning at the moment. So hopefully you found that useful in terms of the analysis, and in terms of everything else, all this is all stuff that's just happened. Well, most of it is all happened today or yesterday, and one here that opened on the 5th of December, which looks like it's getting to where it needs to get to now. So again, I would imagine all of this kind of noise will sort itself out, and then these are the main four here that I'm focusing on. So like I said, I really hope you found that analysis useful, and I shall see you on the next episode.